Good morning. We've got some interesting weather updates today. Starting with cold air that's potentially on the way from the northern plains through the Midwest and up through New England. The Euro and the GFS both show that cooler air moving in as we approach this upcoming Wednesday and Thursday. We're continuing to deal with a pretty significant fire and heat threat out west. And Typhoon Dolphin's getting ready to make another landfall. I appreciate you guys watching this video. Let's get into the updates. I wanted to point something interesting out to start this video. This right here may look like clouds, but this is wildfire smoke. And notice it's headed back east. It's moving into states like Minnesota, Iowa, Missouri, and will continue to move towards the Ohio Valley and Midwest. You can see as we push through the overnight hours, we really can't see where the smoke is yet in the morning. The sun hasn't risen, but you can see where it's going. Our jet stream is yanking all of that wildfire smoke to the east, and those fires continue to rage out west. And unfortunately, I'm not sure the conditions are going to get much better to help with that wildfire problem out west in the short term. All right, let's talk about this cool down. This is the 6 to 10 day temperature outlook from the Climate Prediction Center. So this is from August 13th through August 17th. And you can see those cooler conditions are expected from the northern plains out through the Midwest, up through New England, maybe even getting the mid-Atlantic involved. But the southeast, we're expected to remain kind of in a ridge down there. So a southeastern ridge could be set up, keeping us dry, keeping us warm. Taking a look at the latest temperature anomalies on the GFS, as we get into late Wednesday evening, Thursday morning, we see a lot of below average anomalies pushing down into the central US and out east. This would be a pretty big cool down. I mean, we're seeing areas that could reach 25 plus degrees below average. So very nice, especially for I hope that happens for the central plains and the Ohio Valley, because we've seen a lot of heat out here recently, especially across the central plains, where I think we actually have some extreme heat warnings this morning. Pushing out a little bit further, the GFS also sees another late August cool down, but it's a little bit far out in the run. We don't want to look too much into that. Now, the Euro agrees that this cool down is coming as we push into the end of this upcoming week, or the middle towards the end of this upcoming week, but it's not as aggressive. And you could tell from the Climate Prediction Center's outlook, it keeps this cooler air a little bit further north. So we'll have to see. For you guys down in Oklahoma, Kansas, Missouri, Arkansas, Tennessee, Kentucky, I hope the GFS is correct and we can get some of those cooler temperatures a little bit further south. We continue to have all sorts of fire and heat alerts out west. You can see we have an air quality alert here. We have red flag warnings. We have extreme heat warnings. So not the best situation. And what doesn't help is it's very dry out here. We're seeing dew points in the single digits across portions of Idaho, Wyoming, Colorado. And then you take a look at that relative humidity, low single digits as well, especially across Wyoming, portions of Northern California, southeastern Utah, and Colorado as well. Now, what you don't want when you have very dry conditions is gusty conditions. And as we can see here, we could see some pretty gusty conditions, especially across the central Rockies today, where we could see winds gusting 50, 60 plus miles per hour. And it could get pretty gusty up there in Washington as well, where we have a lot of fires still raging on. Precipitation wise, looking out about a week, really not much relief for the Pacific Northwest. However, we may see some relief for portions of the desert Southwest and southern to central Rockies. Now, a lot of this rainfall looks like it's likely going to come at the end of this upcoming week. Taking a look at the near surface smoke density, we can see a ton of smoke still up through portions of Wyoming, Montana, Idaho, Washington, Oregon, portions of Northern California, Northern Nevada, and Utah. And this smoke, like I said earlier, is headed out east. You can't see as much smoke out east here on this map. That's because it's not all down near the surface, but we do expect some of that to settle down near the surface. So we're likely going to see some effects out across portions of the plains and Midwest. The tropics remain active, at least the Pacific. Look at this. We have 3 areas of concern out in the eastern Pacific. This first one here, Pacific Disturbance 1, has a 50% chance of tropical development over the next 7 days. And then I believe our other 2 disturbances have a 20% chance of tropical development over the next 7 days. So a pretty active area here to watch. Not surprising, being in a strong El Nino. These waters are very warm, very primed for tropical development. Dolphin is looking very impressive. Now, it's only a category 1, but it's a very large system. So we really have to pay attention to it. Significant storm surge and heavy rainfall and significant flooding is possible with large systems like this. So don't just pay attention to the fact that it's weakened to a category 1. We could still see major impacts really from Shanghai all the way down through Wenzhou, especially with the storm surge, and then the rainfall it's going to bring into this region is going to be very significant. So everyone out here should be paying close attention. And I have to say, it's just visually a very impressive storm. I got into meteorology because of hurricanes, because of tropical cyclones. And while this is definitely a very dangerous storm, I don't want to understate that. I just have to say it's very visually impressive. It's still crazy to me to see things like this on Earth. We do have a tropical storm that is headed towards Japan. Not very strong, not expected to strengthen, just something to keep our eye on. down. And the Atlantic is looking pretty quiet, although there are some models that do suggest that we could get some tropical development out there. This is the latest Google DeepMind FNV3 run, and you can see it still does give us the opportunity for some tropical development out of the MDR, which is the main development region, right over there near the Cape Verde Islands off the coast of Africa, or in the tropical Atlantic. Some of these lows actually get pretty strong. We're talking category 3, maybe even category 4 strength, but still pretty far out. Most of these aren't really showing development for at least 5 to 7 days. So this is nothing really to be worried about at the moment. They're just signals, and they're interesting signals because we haven't seen much activity, if any activity, in this portion of the Atlantic yet this year. But as you get into the middle of hurricane season, towards the end of hurricane season, typically the tropical Atlantic and MDR do get much more active. I really appreciate you guys watching this video. If you like this type of content, don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you're notified anytime I go live or anytime I post a new video. I promise you I will be going live a lot more coming up. Work's been busy, life's been busy, but I'm looking forward to getting back into that routine. And don't forget, you can join my free weather Discord. The link is directly below. Tons of awesome weather updates for free in there every single day. Once again, I appreciate you guys watching, and I'll see you in the next video or in the next live stream. See ya.